Do you have pattern paper that's more than 5 years old? What are you saving it for? All right, it's a new year. It's time to commit. It's time to make a resolution. We're gonna stop hoarding our pattern paper. Let's start using it. You ordered it for a reason. You bought it for a purpose. Why is it stacking up somewhere in your home, taking up space, wasting your money? You bought it, but you ain't using it. So here's what this video series is gonna do for you. We're gonna start using it. So grab you some of your pattern paper right now, because today's video is for you. I'm gonna show you in this video how to make 2 Valentine cards using pretty cute pattern paper, no matter how old it is. We're gonna bust through that stash and we're gonna use it. Are you ready to create some crafts? I'm Dawn, creator at Dee Dee Creates Crafts. This is the channel for simple cards, duplicatable crafts, helpful hints that you'll be able to learn something new just from watching one of my video classes. I'm gonna turn the camera down now and we're gonna get started with our 2 cards. All right. I'm calling them Valentines. You can use it for Valentines, but you know what? With crafts like this, just get the general idea, the general gist. You can make this design, copy this pattern, use the secret, but make a birthday card out of it. Make whatever you want. We're gonna do some origami. This is what it's gonna look like. So I'm gonna teach you how to do this. And I'm gonna put this right in the corner so you can see it. Let me put some of my other goodies over here. And we're gonna start with an A2 card. So your first layer, your step 1 for your first card is a 8.5 by 5.5. Fold it right in half. If you score like I do, you're gonna score at 4 1/4, and that is your base. This color is called Sweet Sorbet. So pretty. All right, this next layer is 5 1/4 by 4. And then I went ahead and embossed it with, let me see if you can see it. I think you can see some of the pattern there. The Gingham embossing folder. So there you go. I want you to see some of the print. I wanted it to look more quilted. One of my friends quilts. One of my neighbors. So I was inspired by quilting and really was thinking to myself, I want to make some quilted cards. And let me show you what fell right into my lap was this set called Stitchery. It's a Stampin' Up! Stamp set. Oh my goodness, it looks like stitches, like we've sewn. So we're gonna use this. And yes, if you're a quilter, if you're a sewer, if you make junk journals, you can use real stitches. You can use a sewing machine and feel free to do so. But for those of us that don't have all those bells and whistles, what? Cutest thing since sliced bread. So your next layer, you're gonna measure out, and this is where you're gonna grab some of your pattern paper you've been saving for a rainy day, and you're gonna cut this piece at 4 by 4 inches. It's got to be 2-sided, you guys. It definitely has to be 2-sided, okay? So then what I want you to do, you can either, let me do a little score line just to make my fold easier, but you're gonna fold it in half in one direction, and then you're gonna fold it in half in the opposite direction. Yeah, I want this on the inside. So I fold it in half like that, open it up, and fold it in half in the opposite direction. Now, if you need to, for vision, and I do, come in with a pencil. I gotta see exactly where my center is. Just lightly with your pencil, mark a little mark in the center. It's gonna be easier for you to manipulate our paper and learn this origami fold. So now what we're gonna do, your next step is we're going to fold all 4 points to the center of our little mark. So let's come in, I'm gonna line it up in the center, and guess what? The sides here should meet where the other fold is. So when you come along with this, yep, you're gonna meet in the center, but pretend you folded the first one and it's a little off. Just make sure that it doesn't overlap and continue with your corners, because life's not perfect. Our cards are not gonna be perfect, but they're gonna be dang close and they're gonna be cute anyway, aren't they? Okay, Let's keep folding. This is our last triangle towards my middle here. And I'm gonna come in, let me alter it a little bit. Yep, with my bone folder. So now it's like this. Now your next step is to fold your center triangles back. You know what you could do? Line it up if you want, but center it, line it right back up. The point's gonna touch the fold line up here, and it should be centered as best as humanly possible. So this one, and you can use the guides, or you can use, well, I was gonna say a fold, but there isn't a fold. You can eyeball it, and let me keep going. And last but not least, and this is part of our decoration for our card. So just come back with an eraser, erase your center. You can either leave it like this, or you could add a decoration to the middle, which we're going to do exactly that, because I promised you a Valentine. So you know what I want to do? I'm going to glue the little heart into the center of my origami fun fold. So let me add a little glue, little dabble do ya. And fold these down pretty good. There I go. So pretty centered, pretty good, you know, but it's not gonna lay flat. It's gonna lay a little bit open, so your heart is gonna show better. Cute. Do you love it? What are you thinking so far? Now, if you want, you can do the stitches like I did here with the marking, just to show how you could do some stamping stitches on your piece of origami. For my personal taste with this particular paper, I felt like it'd be a little too busy, so opted not to do that. So the next thing we're gonna do is, let me grab my little stripey of paper. Here we go. And we're gonna stamp a sentiment. So let me get a little of this and a little of that, and you can see how cute everything's gonna go. So I'm gonna come back here. There's a little bit of glue there. I chose, you know what I'm gonna do first? Let's do a sentiment, you guys, before we do the actual stamping of the stitches. Now this, let me do a little practice run. Love it. It says, just a little reminder that you are loved. And why are we using this? Because we want to use it for Valentine's Day. If you want, you put happy birthday right there, and there you go. So for us, here we go. I'm use one of my stitches. This I chose to do the Sweet Sorbet matchy ink pad, Stampin' Up! Ink pad. And I'm gonna come up towards the edge, give it a little stamp. It looks like death warmed over. It looks terrible, so I'm gonna stamp it again. And if I hate it, I'm gonna flip it over. And I hate it, so I'm gonna flip it over. Oh my gosh. That I don't love either, but I'm gonna keep going. Now you see how it's missing here? You can either leave that or come back with just a little bitty bit and add a little more stitching on the end. It's cute if it's not perfect, because I like when it looks like it has a mistake. And some of these stitches, look at this. It actually looks like there's some mistakes in it, which I thought was just, look, the threads are pulling. I just thought that was precious, precious. And I really, really liked it, that it was not perfect. So I did that. I'm gonna restamp my little sentiment, because the first one, in my humble opinion, the red part was a hot mess. Ta-da, a little better. I'm gonna give it a trim, because that, again, hot mess. But when you make mistakes, you guys, keep going, keep going. You know what? Anything can be fixed, because look, I don't love the way that's stamped out, but guess what? That looks so much better now, don't you think? Ta-ta! So I'm going to put that back. Are you having fun? I hope you are. Now some assembly required. So let's get this in action. I'm going to put the finished card here so you can look at it. I'm going to bring in some of my ribbon. This is small, but let me see if I can tie me a bow with it. I think I can. The easiest way I can teach how to tie a bow is make a loop on both sides, and the space in the middle is what's most important because that can be fixed. Then if you're right-handed, right over left, so the right loop goes over the top of the and in the front of the left loop, around the back, and then up through the hole and give it a tug. Now, is that the worst bow you ever saw in your whole life? It sure is. So here's what we're going to do. Lightly pinch the center, the knot, and give your tails a tug. Excuse me, please. More of a tug. Tug till the bow is too small, and then tighten your bow. That bow I like, and I can see the only thing I need to do is a little trim of the tails. Actually, trim just one tail, you know? And that I'm going to put underneath my origami. Now, my origami, because it's a little three-dimensional, I'm actually going to use some tear and tape. I am going to use some glue. You know I love me some glue. And here's why. You guys, it's mistake-proof. When it's still damp, you have some wiggle room. So I could lay this down, line it up, and move it while the glue is still wet. Now, did you see how I put the glue on? I start away from the edge, I drag it to the corner, and then with the tip of my bottle, I just push the glue around. Less is more. This is very, very, very good glue. Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. And yes, you get it from Stampin' Up, and yes, you get it from me. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and when you order with me, I send you some free gifts. What? Yes, I send you free gifts as a thank you for choosing me as your demonstrator. Now, the reason I do videos on YouTube is to introduce you to the Stampin' Up! Products. But more than just, hey, order some products, I want to show you how to use them. I want you to get some bang for your buck. I don't want the products or your paper sitting on a shelf somewhere and not getting your money's worth out of it. That's very important to me. So then, here I go. When you order 30 or more, you're gonna get an entire card kit class from me. You're gonna get 4 card kits of that current month. So in January, just go to the community button on my homepage and you'll see pictures of the January class. I see something else, you guys, before I do that. See how that's hanging off? We're just gonna use the edge as a template and cut it off, that little bitty bit, and now it's even Steven, it's perfect. And there you have it. I am, because this is embossed, I did add some tear and tape, and I am also gonna use the tear and tape for our origami. There I go. I put it away and then I couldn't see it. And I got a little nervous. What? Me nervous? What? Yeah, okay. I am gonna add some glue. I mean, what? Might as well put a little of everything. So I'm gonna have some glue. I've got the tear and tape. This heifer is gonna stay in place. But for me, I have found sometimes, tell me in the comment section if this has ever happened to you, where with embossing, sometimes the glue for me, I think because it's dimensional, doesn't hold as well as it could, should, would, and does. So I just, for security reasons and a little safety net, I use the tear and tape. Just put it close to the edge. It's called tear and tape because it's strong enough to hold everything in place, but it's gentle enough that, as you can see, I am tearing it with my bare fingers. And I am not the strongest of people in the history of the world. All right, last but not least, there we go. Da, 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 da. So happy it's a new year. Aren't you guys so excited? There we go. It's just time to get crafty and crafting and get back to the fun stuff where I did take a break for Christmas and just so I could do some baking and gift wrapping and decorating and hang out with family and do all that stuff we like to do. So I'm just eyeballing this, centering it as best I humanly can. There it is. Get a glue dot for my pretty bow. Once you learn that method of tying your bows, you're pretty much going to be addicted to it and you're pretty much going to love it. All right, so stinking cute. And let's see if I've got a little bling here that I could play with. And I do. Now we tested it and this will fit in an envelope with, I may just do one, you guys. This has got a lot of moving parts. I'm just gonna put one piece of bling. So here's your card. I did use different color ribbon and see what you think. I think I need to move that, but I may cut that short or something. I may not. What do you think? There's your card number 1. Moving on. Card number 2 is a little more quilted. So we're going to use our Stitchery again. The paper, if you've fallen in love with it, because let me show you what I'm going to do because I want to demonstrate something for you. This paper is called Lovely and Linen. It's 12 by 12 paper and look at it. It's two-sided. So this side flips over to that side. This side flips over to that side and so on and so on. So beautiful, beautiful paper. You can see how some of the darker look great for fall and winter. However, check it out. Look at the lighter, 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 even that one. They blend. This is going to go right into spring. So I like a paper pack like that is so versatile. We can use it for multiple seasons. Now, I have some punches I want to share with you. These hearts, there's a scallop, and there's a solid, and they come as a little baby set. So you're gonna buy them like this, and they come like this, and look, here's what I love. How sweet is that? So this scallop is just slightly bigger than this guy, but this guy here, the non-scallop heart, is what we're gonna use to punch out some hearts for this card. Now, if you have a die set or your own punches and the hearts are approximately this size, I understand, use what you have. For me, I've been looking at this punch set for a while, like been wanting it, thinking about it, and that's a sign you need to go ahead and get it. Sometimes, don't we? There we are. Cute, right? All right, so let's get out some more moving parts. We have got some more of the Sweet Sorbet paper. So this one is, again, 8.5 by 5.5, fold it in half, or score it at 4 1/4. Your layer is 5 1/4 by 4. Then you just watched me punch out 4 hearts, and you're gonna use 4 different pattern paper. This is going to look like a quilt, just like the first one had the origami going on, gave you a little bitty bit of a quilt feel, the heart feel. We got the feels that this is just gonna be so sweet, so sweet. So what you wanna do, we're gonna do a little bit of our stamping again. Am I nervous to stamp in front of you based on the first hot mess? Yeah, I am getting a little nervous, but I think I'm gonna go like that. And my red is missing in action, which means it's right in front of me. Here we go. Do you guys do that? You get so organized where you just kind of, you can't see it. You get a little too organized. All right, so let me put this here. Let me move my stitches. Yeah. Sweet Sorbet, matchy matchy. See how I do. Yeah, this is coming out so far, dare I say it, better. All right, I want you to go along one side, and instead of going to the opposite side, I want you to just turn it to the shorter side, and you're going to see the method to my madness, because once we stamp, and now I'm going to flip to the opposite side to do the short side, because then the remaining side, it kind of shows and tells you where to leave the final stitches. Now I am like patting myself on the shoulder. I'm so proud how well the stamping is going for this second card versus the first card, which was the hot old mess. And there we go. Let me close this little baby up. Sweet Sorbet. Such a pretty, pretty, pretty color. I just loved the color family for this particular, I almost said card set, paper pack. You guys, I have no paper. All my paper is less than 6 months old. I don't buy a lot of it, but when I buy it, I use it and use it up, and then buy either some more of the same stuff or buy another pattern. I probably have 4 to 6 pattern packs going on at the same time at any given time, but I use my paper. Paper that, all right, think of this. How many, you're gonna tell me in the comments section, how many of you remember the olive green appliances in the kitchen? How about the gold appliances? You see what I'm saying? So in today's household, those appliances would look dated. It's the same thing with your paper. If your paper's over 5 years old, it looks dated. Some of it may be pretty, and please prove me wrong. Share some of your samples on Dee Dee Creates Crafts Facebook page. However, a lot of your paper is going to look dated. And guess what? Your kids don't want it. People don't want it. And here's why. Have you asked your kids or grandkids if they want your furniture when you go home to glory? Because I have. They don't want it. They don't collect antiques. They don't collect Hummels. They don't collect like we used to collect. And their furniture tastes are, excuse me, please, different than ours. So it's the same thing with your paper packs. You're thinking, oh, I'm going to give it to somebody. I'm saving it for a rainy day, this, that. I am here to tell you, use it. Use it, use it, enjoy it. You ordered it, enjoy it. Bust right through it and finish it up. Get rid of it, and then guess what? Order some more. I'm doing this because I want to see my shorter pieces, because we're going to wrap it right around, and then the longer piece, I'm going to tie a bow. Now, you're going to do the embossing folder with this one as well. Before we tie the bow, you're going to run it right through your embossing folder. And from the magic of TV, it's done. So this card I did a little different. Let me show you this card. Line it up for you. There we go. So let me get my little guys. If I can't find it, I'm going to use this. I'm looking for my little spool. If you see it, tell me. I'm looking for my little spool of glue dots. And they're probably right in front of me and I can't see it. So I'm going to use a little dabble, do ya, of my tear and tape. Why is that easier to find? It's so much easier. I don't know if it's bigger. It's not really bigger. Anyhow, I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas or a wonderful Hanukkah and a happy New Year. Welcome, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for visiting, and thank you. Oh my gosh, let me go this way. I know if I go backwards, it'll look backwards, and I will not be a happy camper. Okay, let's start right there. Love and life. All right, here. And this is different. You see how this ribbon and bow is going vertically versus horizontally? I did this intentionally to share with you. There's no right or wrong way of how you do your hearts. I had a student, one of my neighbors, she is so smart. Her name is Nancy, and she is a retired interior decorator. Let me show you the glue one more time. You start away from the edge, do the glue and drag it to the corner. Because see that blob? That blob would be in your corner if you didn't start away from the edge. And then just push it around. And then just repeat that. And then just with the tip, just push the glue around. What? Now I just remembered on the other one I used the tear and tape, and this one I'm doing glue, so we'll see how it does. I may do a little extra glue towards the inside of the edges because I want to make sure it sticks. You have to wrap your ribbon before you adhere this layer down. A lot of time, and that's every time you do a layer. So I like to tell my classes to put your base aside. It's pretty much this assembly is going to be one of the last things you do. Now this that we're going to tie a bow, run it underneath. Oh my goodness, it stuck to my finger. Because I want it to look like it's one piece tied. However, the little, this is the cutest thing. Stamp first, come back with your little tag, and we're going to punch out the little love. See right here? How sweet is that? And again, the love would be perfectly okay and precious for a birthday, but it is so stinking cute for Valentine's Day. So I want it to look like this little tag, that it looked like it's held on by the bow. Now this machine you just saw me use is a miniature version. It's a mini. All right, look at it in scale with my hand. It's nice and small. This I use for retreats, the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo that goes around town, goes around the country actually. And it's great to take onto in your RV or camping, vacation with girlfriends if you guys are all crafters. So cute and fun. It's the perfect size because it's small. That one you can order, the white one you can order, of course. And you're going to get some free stuff from me. And you're going to get some Celebration free stuff. What is Celebration? It is, let me make sure it goes that way. A sale, okay, I'm going to put it on this side. Career Decision. It's a sale Stampin' Up! Does once a year. It's January and February. And they give you free stuff based on your ordering. You have to have a qualifying order. For each increment of 50, you're going to get some free stuff. But you get to choose your free stuff. Yeah, anything you want, you just choose it. Now, I'm going to retie this after because it's upside down and backwards. But for the sake of us just moving forward, I'm going to leave it. So let me see if I've got some little yellow or clear. Oh, they're so cute. Let's add just a little bling, you guys. Because we can, you know. Yeah, I can put it down here. Ooh, there's some big ones. Yay! I'm going to do 2 babies and 1 big one. So where else? Let's put that one there. I don't know. I keep going up there, so I'm going to hide one. Last but not least. Have you learned something? Have you had fun? If any of that or all of that is true, what I want you to do is go boop and hit the like button. And oh my gosh, why can't I decide where to put it? I'm just going to slap it right there. Boop the like button for me and like this video. And remember to tell me in the comments section how old your paper is. And Pinky promised me that you're going to start using it. When you start using it, I want you to go to DD Creates Crafts Facebook page and show me some of your samples. If you want, I also do a weekly card challenge. So you can enter the card challenge. And yes, I send you prizes. Yeah, I do. This, just a little reminder that you are loved came from the Framed Florets stamp set. I think that is all I've got for you. Did you subscribe yet? Are you already a subscriber? Thank you for that. Go ahead and subscribe. I want you to find me again. I want you to craft with me again, and we're going to have some fun. All right, I'm going to turn the camera up now. All right, so we can say goodbye. Let me hold the cards up so you can see them. I want you to remember 3 things. What? I want you to remember to like this video. I want you to remember to subscribe. And then I want you to remember to watch the playlist called Show Both Sides of the Pattern Paper. That is going to totally help you bust through the rest of your pattern paper, is that playlist. All right, I will see you again next week with some more fun for ya and some more cards and another card class. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye now.